In continuing with the idea that Series 10 is a soft reboot of sorts, the second episode, Smile, feels very much like a warm-up exercise. A simple plot with a simple threat and a simple solution, allowing Bill and the Doctor a bit more breathing room to further develop and strengthen their relationship. In theory, this is a perfectly reasonable idea in pacing out what may well be considered a Doctor Who miniseries. In practice, it's just as easy, if not more so, to play it safe and undershoot it as it is to get ambitious and overshoot it, and Smile really undershoots it, resulting in one of the most uninteresting episodes of Doctor Who in a long time. There's a lot of Doctor Who that's bad, there's some Doctor Who that's really bad, but rarely is there Doctor Who that's just boring. We've heard this song and dance before. The Doctor and his companions go for their first proper date to a future human settlement, usually but not always one of the 100 civilizations that escaped Earth during a solar flare-caused ecological disaster, a little seen but oft-referenced part of the franchise's mythology. The settlement is amazing and futuristic and stuff, but there's a violent cancer hidden within it, and it's up to our heroes to find it and fix it. We've seen variations of this play out a bunch of times already. The 9th Doctor in Rose in The End of the World, 10th Doctor in Rose in New Earth, the 11th Doctor in Amy in The Beast Below. Heck, you can go back as far as the 4th Doctor and Sarah Jane in The Ark in Space. Now, not all of these stories are winners, but you can usually rely on some fun and unique imagery to keep you interested. Alien insects made of bubble wrap, or cat people, or space whales, or entire alien orchestras singing nursery rhymes to parasite gods. Smile doesn't have anything nearly that interesting. The settlement in question is a sparse, sterile, empty, modern university with nobody in it. That's actually the central mystery. Where have all the settlers gone? Which, okay, that's a story, but it means that the Doctor and Bill have barely anything to play off against besides themselves and the episode's key feature, the emoji robots, which is exactly what it says on the tin. Tiny robots that communicate through emojis. This is a creative decision that I didn't automatically roll my eyes at like I'm sure many viewers did. Something could probably be said of ideogram-based languages that would reframe emojis as, modern hieroglyphics or something. But much more likely is that somebody asked, well, what are the kids into these days? Saw that emojis were so big that they were getting their own animated movie, and built a Doctor Who creature to follow the trend. These little guys are going to date themselves a lot faster than those bubble wrap aliens. It's an idea that does nothing but draw attention to itself and pull you out of the episode, and that's a shame because I otherwise like the design. They're cute. They also don't talk or seem very articulate, so again, the Doctor and Bill just talking to each other in empty white rooms. This episode was written by Frank Cottrell-Boyce, who had previously written the Series 8 story In the Forest of the Night, which is like this episode's polar opposite, a reach for the stars and fall flat on your face story that, in this reviewer's opinion, ended up being the worst episode of that series. And I wonder if Cottrell-Boyce might have overcorrected in writing Smile. In the Forest of the Night's William Blake fairy tale was hampered by cheap production values and awful child actors, while Smile has good production values and almost no actors at all, playing out a paint-by-numbers Asimov robot story. Despite my low opinion of it, I can at least say In the Forest of the Night has stuck in my memory for the last 3 years. I highly doubt I'll ever recall Smile in 2020. There just isn't a whole lot more to say. The mystery might have been intriguing if the opening scene didn't give everything away. The resolution felt rushed. It had no build-up and actually kind of conflicts with a major scene in the pilot. I won't give it away for spoilers' sake, but let's just say Bill should have had more to say about all of this. This is an episode destined to be forgotten about until your rewatch marathon 5 years from now, and when you get to it, you're like, Smile? Which one was that? Oh, right, emoji robots. Was that good? I can't remember if I liked it or not. Slightly more interesting is the suggested structure Series 10 is going to take. This episode picks up immediately where the last one left off, and ends with a bit of a teaser for the next episode in a way the show hasn't done since the 60s, leaving no space between adventures. This may suggest a more mini-series structure to Series 10, but could also just be a momentary throwback to an old way of doing things. With some of the shots I've seen in the series trailer, Series 10 may as well be a series of throwbacks. Just Moffat letting his geeky fan out now that he doesn't have any obligations to any of his past story arcs. It's a subtle thing this time around, rare to see a reference to the idea of certain episodic structures, but Moffat is that kind of geek. Series 10 continues to be very lightweight and conversational, breezy almost to a fault, and while there's really nothing seriously wrong with Smile, it has so little momentum and heft that it leaves no impression besides, we're really going with the emoji robots, huh? With the dynamic between Bill and the Doctor firmly worked out, we are now due for some actual drama and interesting ideas. Join me next time with Thin Ice to see if they deliver.